Welcome to a game that I've been excited for quite some time now. This is Soulbound Online. Now, this is a pixel art action roguelite with an MMORPG overworld. So what does that mean? Basically, the world that you see me in right now is a big old MMO, and then there is a roguelike aspect with dungeons. If we come over to the little dungeon finder over here, and we'll get to this, you go into the dungeons and the game transforms from an MMO over to a roguelike. I think this is an awesome idea. This is, I'm recording this for the second time now, a couple days after launch. I will say that the launch of this game was pretty rough. The servers were having some pretty bad issues on day one. If you look at the Steam reviews right now, they are currently mixed, but on day one, they were mostly negative, which is to be expected on an early access launch. But the game is about $12 right now. It is on sale, and me personally, I highly recommend you go check it out and give it a try. Now, a lot of people were super unhappy with it on launch day because of the server issues and a little bit of performance issues. It was just, the servers were kind of laggy, things were falling behind a little bit, but all I did was, once I started noticing issues, I stopped playing the game, gave it a day to, figure itself out, let the devs do their work, and I played yesterday, and it was all back to normal, it feels like. So I've been having a ton of fun on this game. This game is just so fun. Now, what I would like to showcase in this video is some of the dungeon aspects, but before we do that, let's go through a couple of the different things in the MMO overworld that you guys should probably know about. So first things first that I want to go over is you do have skills, and this is very similar to, I guess, a lot of you who play RuneScape. I haven't played RuneScape since I was a kid, but the skill system to me looks a lot like RuneScape. Basically, you do certain things and you can level up certain skills. Then you've also got your inventory system. We've got our little backpack right here, and you'll notice that mine is not very full. So if we go over here to the bank, we can take a look at some of the items that I have. So we'll talk to her, and this is my bank full of different things. This is, some of the items that you can wear, some food items, different things that you can use to craft. There is a whole crafting system in this game. I will say, before we get too far into this game is super in-depth. From the surface, it doesn't look like it would be, but it really is. So that's the inventory system. You've got your little player profile here. This is me. I'm currently level 7. This is all of the items that I am wearing. So I've got different rings, I got a belt, different things that you can put on, and it's all going to be based off of what build you're going for. So from what I can tell, you've got the classic, using swords, or like a mage with, staffs and things like that, and then archers as well. And then I think there's like axes and, different things like that. But there's no, when you boot up the game, it says, hey, what class do you want to play? You can just kind of build it however you want to. So that's that. Now, the cool thing to me is you've also got different things that you can upgrade for the roguelike aspect of the game. So if we go down here in the bottom right and look at the ability and weapon book, so over here is all of the abilities that we have unlocked. These abilities can be used inside of the dungeon. So you've got your first thing here, which is going to be what weapon you're using, and then you're going to be able to cast 3 different spells, and you're going to unlock these incrementally as you go through the dungeon. So after you get through the first wave or the first stage or whatever, you're going to get your first one, and then you go through a few more waves, you're going to get your second one, and then you'll finally get your third one. And as time goes on, you're going to unlock a bunch of different things that you can use here, and you can change these up however you want and put them in whatever order you want. So for me right now, I'm using the staff, doing the damage with that, getting through the first wave. Then I'll unlock this pyrosphere, which basically shoots out a big old fireball and does, different things. And then I've got this healing ability, and then my last one is going to be the bomb. That's what I'm running right now. On top of that, you've got these little ability power cores up here, and you can upgrade your abilities. So right now I've got my pyrosphere up just a little bit, as well as my healing pulse. Now, I don't know, I guess actually I do know. Once you hover over this, it's going to show you what is going to be upgraded once you get to that point. So that is pretty cool. I just learned that myself. And then over here, you've got your weapons tab, and all of the weapons that you have, these are the ones that are in my bank. But this sandstorm staff, this is what I currently have. And because it's already uncommon, the only thing I have right now is common weapon power cores. I can't upgrade it because I need uncommon weapon power cores to get it up into a rare weapon. So you can take your weapons from, you know, uncommon over to rare, over to epic. I mean, just the amount of depth in this game is insane. So I could sit here and talk about this stuff, you know, all day long, but I want to get into a dungeon and show you guys kind of what that looks like, because to me, that the dungeon part is what I think is super fun. So let's jump over to the dungeon tab. As you can see, I've done quite a bit of dungeons. Well, I say quite a bit. I've only done like 5. Tried this one last night with my buddy. We failed it because we did have a server crash. So there are little things like that. You know, if you don't want to deal with minor setbacks in that way, some of these dungeons, when you start them, you know, there's no chance of losing anything. But once you get up into these higher ones, when you die, you can lose some of your stuff. So keep that in mind. If you don't want to deal with any of that, for the time being, I would stick with some of these lower level dungeons where you don't lose anything. But essentially, you can do these dungeons solo. You can invite your friends. You can go into a party of 3 with your friends, or you can invite random people, or you can go into the start matchmaking, which is going to automatically find other players to fill your party, and you can do it with strangers. So you have plenty of options of what you want to do as far as these dungeons go. I'm going to do it solo. And I don't want to do the very first dungeon. I want to do something that's going to give me some potential items that I would want. So let's do this Arcadia Arena. This isn't too far into the game, so it's not going to, you know, give a whole bunch of stuff away. But as you can see, it tells you all of your potential rewards. So there's up to 732 items that you can get for completing this dungeon. So if we open this up, I mean, look at all of this stuff that you can get. These top ones are going to be like your best items that you can get. I would like to get a hold of this Thorncore staff personally. And then if you hover over it, it's going to tell you the drop chance. So there's a 0.62% chance of a drop. So to me, with how these drops work, it basically makes it to where you want to kind of keep coming back and redoing these dungeons until you get the item that you want. So for me, I want this staff, or maybe I want these pants, or maybe I want this, you know, sweater or whatever. I can just keep running these dungeons over and over and over as many times as I want, and, you know, potentially collect all of these items. And the dungeons are so unique and interesting because of the roguelite aspect that it makes playing them over and over just so much fun. So I'm not going to talk anymore. We're going to jump into the Arcadia Arena. We're going to do it solo, and I'm going to show you guys what this kind of looks like. I think I ran this. Yeah, I ran this a couple of times last night. This one is, for me as a solo, I kind of struggle with it just a little bit. I don't do a whole lot of damage. As you can see, it's taken me 3 hits to kill 1 guy. But basically, as I go through here, I will be getting stronger and stronger, but it is a very slow start on this arena for me because this is kind of like the highest level dungeon that I can do right now. So if I went to one of the earlier ones, I would just absolutely steamroll through it, no problem whatsoever. But as you can see, we start out with nothing but our staff. So the staff is going to be the only thing that we're doing damage here. And as you can see in the top, we have a level bar. And in order to level up, you're going to run around and grab these little XP orbs. So every time you kill one of these little guys, they're going to drop an XP orb. We're going to go this way. And yeah, this is definitely a slow start, so hopefully you guys don't get bored of watching this immediately. But we're going to grab these XP orbs and go ahead and start getting some upgrades flowing here, because the upgrades is what makes you way stronger, and it makes it to where you do a lot more damage. So here we go. We just got enough to upgrade. This little tip thing keeps coming up every time I do it. And now we've unlocked our pyrosphere. So we can either upgrade the staff that we have, or we can upgrade our pyrosphere. So for example, we get a plus 15% AoE radius, but minus 5% damage. Some of these upgrades are going to have positives and negatives. Some of them are only going to have positives, like this burn effect lasts 25% longer. That's one that only has positive. So that one's pretty cool. We're just going to go ahead and grab that. I typically like to go with the stuff that doesn't give me a negative if I can. Sometimes the positive far outweighs the negative, but usually I like to go with no negatives at all if I can. So this stage is a little bit different than the rest of the dungeons that I've played so far. Essentially, we're going to deal with these guys for a little bit, and then we'll get to a certain point and the boss comes out. Now, I don't know if I just have the wrong build for this type of boss, but it takes me quite a while to kill this guy. I've done this arena twice now, I believe, and it just takes so long to kill him. I don't know if maybe running the staff and sort of like a mage build is just not it for this guy, or if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and get another upgrade. And let's see, each hit grants cascading power 4 seconds, max 10 stacks, plus 5% damage per stack, max plus 50%. Now, I don't know all of the, everything that goes into this, but this one is pretty good. However, this is an example of one that is well worth taking the negative trait. So essentially what this does is the pyrosphere turns into like a little black hole, and it's going to pull enemies in and do damage to them. Now, your damage does go down, but to me, this upgrade is super worth it. So as you'll see here in a second, there goes that black hole. It's just going to suck them into it and do so much damage. So our damage went down, but I mean, you can see it just pulls them in and does way more damage. It's great. So we got level 4. Now we're going to get another upgrade. This one here is just going to pull in the little XP orbs. I normally don't like to take that one. Let's see. Explosions have scorch zones that burns enemies within. So I guess we'll take that. So now, not only do we have the black holes that come, there is a little orange circle there that's going to do fire damage. So that's pretty nice. We're going to pick up all the XP. And here we go. Increase armor by 1. Healing pulse. So we just unlocked our healing pulse. So every 20 seconds, we're going to get +2 healing. I think it's +2 or +4. I don't remember. But this one's going to also damage enemies for the same amount that it heals, which is pretty cool. I don't know what consecrated means. And then we've got increased max health by +25%. Or I'm sorry, by 25%. So I think I'm going to grab this one because, if I'm doing the healing orb, that just means, if I'm healing, then I'm also damaging people. So right now we're just going to run around, grab all these XP orbs, and then the boss is going to start spawning in here in a second, as well as his little minions. They give you like a little buffer here in between. Most of them aren't like that, but this one is. So here we go. Where is our boss? There he is. So this guy, you'll notice, I don't do a whole lot of damage to him. So this is going to get better as time goes on, but he's got this little spinning attack thing, and it feels like I do more damage when he's spinning, but then sometimes it feels like I do more damage when he's not. So I'm not really 100% sure on that. Now that he's here, we're going to get these little explodey guys. We definitely don't want to take any damage from them because they hurt. And then he's going to shoot out these little laser beams. All we got to do is avoid those and just keep putting in work on him, and we just got blown up. Little suicide bomber there, and got to be careful of that. There we go. Yeah, and then the problem with this boss is there's just not enough guys that spawn in to give me XP to keep getting upgrades, so you kind of just get stuck a little bit at this lower level. And yeah, we want to go grab this. And then another problem that I see is now that the boss health bar is up there, you can't see your level bar, which really sucks. All right. Each cast builds void energy. I think we looked at that one earlier. Each hit grants cascading power. No, we looked at that one earlier. Plus 30% damage, burn, fire, DOT effects last 50% shorter. So I think I'm going to grab... Let's grab this one, the cascading power. There's one upgrade that I really like that it allows you to shoot 2 of the things out. I'd really like to get that one. And I personally really like having the healing thing because most of the time in these dungeons, there's going to be a lot more going on and you're going to take a lot of damage. So if I end up taking damage, then we're just going to heal eventually, which is nice. And I haven't really quite figured out how to get my hand on like health potions consistently. So having that healing spell is really, really nice. If I can figure out how to get the health regenerate stuff at some point, then maybe I can open up that slot to another thing that does damage. But the healing thing is nice because if you play with friends, then it's also going to apply to them. So you just tell your buddies to stick right beside you and it'll heal both of you. There's also upgrades that you can take inside that will allow you to heal more. So right now we're healing 4 every 20 seconds. But there was one that I took the last time that I did this dungeon, and it gave me +6. All right, so here we go. +15% projectile speed, +5% critical strike chance, +10% critical damage. I think I'm going to take this one. Projectile speed's pretty good. We want to get this out here as fast as we can. Do damage to this guy. But yeah, the good part about the healing is I kind of just don't have to worry about taking damage because I'm just going to heal it back, which is really nice. But yeah, this arena is pretty slow, as you can see. It takes a while to complete it, but also, I mean, I'm not a super high level. I'm not super strong, super powerful, but the rewards, if we can roll into one of them, are pretty good. So I like to just sit right by him and try to do as much damage as I can. Get him going as fast as possible. That's the goal here. These little explodey guys kind of set us back a little bit sometimes, because I have to focus on attacking them. And then I also don't like that I can't see how much XP until my next level. That is unfortunate. Here we go. All right, let's see. 20% damage. All right, so now we've unlocked the bomb, which is going to help us a lot. And let's see. We don't want to convert that to physical damage. I like the explosive damage. Let's just go ahead and do 20% damage on our staff. That's going to help us a lot, I think. Yeah, we're taking good little chunks out of him now. Nothing too crazy. It seems like he's blocking a lot of our attacks here. But I think once we get the bombs going, that's going to help us a lot. Yeah, I just don't know if he has like extra health while he's not in the spinning state. Because if you look, when I hit him while he's spinning, it typically does damage to him. So I don't know. All right, explodey guy got us there. Now, I know he likes to go to the same 2 spots over and over, basically. Go ahead and get the explosions in there. Oh my, don't get hit by that. Yeah, we're not doing a whole lot of damage to him, but we are doing something, I guess. 2 explodey guys. Don't need that. Let's go grab this blue orb. And then we'll go pick up all these green ones. Try to get another upgrade. There we go. 10% cooldown reduction, 50% cooldown, 50% damage. I don't know if I want to take something that is going to give us less damage. Definitely don't want that. So we'll just get our pyrosphere out faster, which is good. I don't know what that little thing that I just picked up does. I have no idea. Oh, took some damage there. Gotta be careful. Gotta be super careful. Comes the explodey boys. Oh yeah, we're starting to take some damage here. I gotta be very careful. We're getting down into some low numbers. I do have a healing potion, so if I need it, I have it. So we're definitely not gonna die. Okay, we might die. Let me go ahead and use that. I did not mean to get that close to that dude. I was trying to grab that pink orb. There's a gold over there on the ground. That's weird. Never seen that. Gotta get rid of the explodey boys. We're getting the boss down pretty low here. Let's just try not to take any damage. Let our healing do some work here. That's why we have it. The one thing I dislike is when you're trying to focus the boss, it Sometimes it sends out some of my abilities to some of the other guys, which I guess is good. Like, we don't want to take damage from them like that. There we go. All right. Creates a smoke cloud that stuns enemies. That one's really good. Minus 20% cooldown, plus 20% knockback. Let's do this smoke cloud because that's really good. It stuns them. It'll basically stun them, and it'll do a lot of damage because we'll have the void and the fire thing going. So that's good. But it shouldn't matter. We're about to take care of this guy. Maybe not this time, but by the time he moves back over to the other side, we should be taking care of him. There we go. We just got to avoid the explodey guys. See, he just got stunned in the smoke. That was huge. Let's chase him down. Just keep our distance because he can really hurt us with that spin. Really hurt us with that spin. And we should be able to get him right here. Come on. Almost there. He's got 1 HP. There we go. All right, so once you clear the stage, you're going to go up here to this portal, and this is going to be your reward. So we cleared that. Now, I know that seems like it took a long time to do, but you got to think also some of these dungeons, you're just fighting wave after wave after wave. So a lot of times they all take kind of the same amount of time to complete. But if you do some of the lower level dungeons, then you're going to be getting through them pretty quick. It's not too bad. So what we're going to do here, this is our reward. We'll open the chest. It's going to tell you the potential rewards that you can get, and we'll go ahead and hit unlock, and hopefully we get blessed with something good. So we got 75 iron ore, 200 gold, 5 beers, and we got a common headpiece. So nothing crazy there, unfortunately, but we did get the iron ore, and as of right now, I'm not really sure what we can use that for. I know we use it for crafting, but I think at some point that iron ore is going to come in handy because I've got quite a bit of it. I don't want to sell it because I know I'm probably going to need it. And then we got the beers, and then we got this. So I did end up using my health potion. That is unfortunate. But I think what we'll do, we'll go do one of the lower level dungeons really quick. Let's see. Let's do this one. Why not? All of the rewards here look the same. I think the rewards are the same no matter what tier you go into. It's kind of what it's looking like. I didn't even notice that. Oh, no, those are different. Those are all different. Whoa, what is that? Legendary item. Okay, so there is legendary items. Yeah, let's do this one. I believe this is the second dungeon that you get. Let's show you guys kind of what the starter dungeons kind of look like. These ones are, in my opinion, a lot more fun because you get a lot more upgrades and things get hectic after a while. And then, as you can see, there's a lot of enemies. And I'm going to take some damage here because I did not stay on the outskirts, but that's okay. We need to get things going here. There's a lot of guys. I don't mind taking a little bit of damage up front. That's okay. 100% AoE radius. We don't want that. This is the one we want. We like that void stuff. We definitely like that. Big fan of the voids here. Grab all this XP. We need that. We got another upgrade. Let's see. Charges on hit, 5 stacks, next pyrosphere, 200% radius. Yeah, we definitely take that. That one's pretty good. But as you can see, these guys are not like super hard, and you get a lot of XP from them. So the amount of upgrades that we're going to get is kind of insane. And things are going to get very hectic here soon. I promise. But yeah, this is a really neat aspect of the game. I really, really enjoy these little dungeons. I think they're a ton of fun. And I played with one of my buddies last night, and we were just having an absolute blast. It was so fun. Here we go. Let's keep picking up our XP orbs. We need to go ahead and get our healing unlocked. We've taken a good bit of damage. I don't have any more healing potions, so that's not good. Grab all of our XP here. Next wave's coming in. Here we go. Thank you, sir, for your kind donation of all that XP. Need that. All right, so we got our healing now. Let's see, plus 100% damage, plus 100% cooldown. I don't like that. One additional void sphere per cast. This one's huge. You get 2 of them, so that's really nice. We like that. I like getting out as many projectiles as I can, basically. If you haven't noticed, that to me is what is really effective. So we've got our pyrosphere going out. We've got 2 of our casts going out. And then now if we can just get some upgrades on our staff that will give us cast speed, that would be huge, because we did lose a lot. We gained an extra cast, but we did lose some of the speed. As you can see, it's a lot slower now. There is an upgrade though that gives us, let's see, every 5 casts tear open a void rift. Let's grab this one, and we should be able to get another upgrade here with all this XP. I think, maybe not. Okay, so that stage is cleared. Let's go ahead and grab this one's gonna add another phantom sphere that seeks the nearest enemy. So now we've got 3. And basically, once this one is done, you have 3 options here. You can go through the health portal, which is going to heal you. This is if you don't have some kind of healing cast. And then you've got this one, which is going to be for relics. And then this one is going to be a resource room. Now, I went to this resource room on the first day of launch, and there wasn't anything in it. So I'm kind of scared to go in it. So we're going to grab one of these relics. And this is just going to be another upgrade. All the upgrades that we've been getting have been called relics. So explosions leave a scorch zone that burns enemy within. That's pretty good. Critical strikes detonate a secondary explosion at impact. Each hit grants cascading power. I'm going to grab this scorch zone. It's pretty nice. We had that one in the last arena that we did. Here we go. So we got this pressure plate thing now. We stand on this and keep it going. We're going to be able to unlock this treasure chest, and we'll basically double up on the rewards that we get. But the problem is we are going to be overrun here pretty soon. But I'm just going to stand here and take the damage, I think. I can't actually. That's not going to work. I took way too much damage there. I thought it was going to be less. Maybe if we can get some more upgrades going. Grab these gold spheres. Let's grab this. All right, we got our bombs now. Splits into 3 cluster bombs. We have to take that. It's going to explode, and then it's going to split into 3 more. We got to be very careful here. Now, I don't believe the pressure plate restarts the timer. I think you just have to stand on it. Stage cleared. 80% damage, 40% blast radius. On a hit, second sphere spawns and seeks a nearby enemy. We're going to take that. And yeah, we were unable to get that chest, unfortunately. That's pretty hard to do solo. But let's grab another relic. Let's do that. Let's make ourselves strong here. Go ahead and grab this. Let's see. Healing pulse size. Don't really need that. AoE radius, crit damage. Let's grab the AoE radius on the bomb. Let's take that. All right, here we go. Next stage. And we need to get some healing going here. So we're going to just play it safe. Try to stay away from mobs. We've got quite a bit going on now as far as stuff going out. Try not to take any damage here. That's going to be key. There we go. We got a heal. We can get like 2 or 3 of the heals off. That would be very nice. That'd be ideal. All right, let's see. Allies healed gain plus 3 heal amount. Yeah, we take that 100% of the time. So now we're healing 7 instead of 4. So that is huge. We're going to get back to full HP here. No problem. The only downside of the healing is it only happens every 20 seconds, which I get that. Makes it balanced. But maybe if we use those upgrade orb thingies or whatever, we can get it to where it's gonna, that timer's gonna go down quite a bit. Why do I feel like I'm moving faster all of a sudden? Stage cleared, very nice. Let's do the smoke cloud. Got another one. Plus 80% damage, 40%. Blast radius, fuse timer, minus damage. Let's grab this one. Like I said, I don't really like the negative effect stuff. I'm moving so quick now. I don't know what's going on. We're going to take the treasure here. For sure. And let's see what we get. These are our potential rewards. Go ahead and unlock it. Alright, so we got some power cores. We needed that. Got a basic hammer, some milk, coal, copper, and gold. There we go. Let's move on to the next one. We are zooming. All right, well, let's actually try to get this one this time. I think we can do it. We just gotta stay around it and just keep stepping on it as much as we can. We got better healing now, so that's good. These are loot flies, so they're gonna give us extra loot or something like that. I don't remember how it works, to be honest with you. I think we're gonna get it this time. We did. Very nice. There we go. We got extra loot. Let's go grab it. After he shoots his little laser beam. Okay, we are kind of overrun here a little bit. We're not gonna be able to grab that just yet. I think we could grab it at the end of the stage, though. I just don't want to take any chances with that, to be honest with you. All right, we got another relic. Let's see. Minus 50% fuse timer, 30% damage. I don't like any of these, to be honest. Let's just grab this. I wonder if that counts for me. It might, actually. 100% damage, 100% cooldown. I don't like that one. Ooh, I do like that one. Okay, let's grab that one. And now we're going to be able to grab our loot. Very nice. Open this up. It's our second chest we've gotten so far. So this stage is actually pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. We got some oats. We got more power cores. That's very nice. And we got another sandstorm staff, but it's not quite as good as the one we have. It has better AoE radius, but that's about it. Let's go grab another relic. Go ahead and do this. See what we can get here. 20% knockback. That's pretty good. Let's grab that. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier, you guys can see how this can get pretty crazy. So I mean, every single time we're just getting so many more upgrades. It is so nice. I'm just gonna stand here. Trying to send this towards all the stuff. Try to stay in the little smoke zones, because that's going to stun enemies and they won't be able to get close. We could basically just run from smoke zone to smoke zone, to be honest with you. Pretty nice. We just run towards the bombs and we'll be good. 50% cast range, 50% AoE radius. Yeah. Definitely take that. That's sick. Our healing is really doing work, to be honest with you. I mean, we're just cruising towards... Oh, I think I picked up something that makes me run faster. Okay, I see now. Alright, let's see. Converts to ethereal damage. Each cast fires a healing orb and a damage orb. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that's minus 40% damage, so... Let's grab this one. I don't know exactly what the deal is with these loot fly things. Something about them. I don't remember what it is. I don't know when you get the loot or what, but something about them. They're called loot flies. That's all I know. Okay, so you can see the little bit of lag that we got going on there. That's kind of what I was talking about, where people were complaining about the server lag and stuff. So if that's something you can't really deal with, sometimes it will screw you over. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it'll start lagging and you'll come back in and you'll be down 40 health. So I'm not really sure why that happens in these dungeons, because I feel like it shouldn't really have much to do with a server, but I don't know shit about servers, so don't quote me on that. Let's do converts to fire damage. I don't really like that. Let's grab this one. We'll take less damage, but bigger AoE. I guess that's fine. We need to get some healing going here. Take this guy out so we can stop shooting laser beams at me. That'll be nice. Oh, there's another one. Get rid of him. Got these little crawly dudes. I think that's it. All right, so we get another relic here. Plus 10% damage. Let's grab that. We always like extra damage. And let's get another relic before we go into the boss fight. This will be the final stage. Let's get one more upgrade. Let's see. Enemies passing through the rift suffered minus 20% void resistance. Let's take that. Sure. And now it's time for a boss fight. Here we go. I don't remember this boss. I know I've done this stage, but I don't remember him. There he is. I know he does a lot of damage, though, so I got to be very careful. We're going to hover around my little fireball things. We need our healing to go crazy here. We're doing a lot of damage to him, though, actually, if we look at it. It's kind of nice. We just need to stay away from him as much as we can. Grab another relic. 25 damage on direct contact, sure. Take that. Ooh, stay away from him. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, we gotta go. Yeah, we gotta be super careful here. He's almost dead, but like, he could kill us very quickly. Another relic. Let's grab that. It shouldn't matter here. We should have him done here in a second. There we go. Now, we're going to grab more relics, but they don't really matter because the whole thing's over. So we're just going to grab all that stuff. He is dead, and now we are finished with the stage. We are going to go collect our reward. So let's see if we can get some good items here. I don't really think there's anything too good because everything's common. So, I mean, we don't really care for common items at this point. We're kind of on to the uncommon stuff. That's what I want. And yeah, we got nothing really all that good. We'll take this copper katana, sure. And we will go ahead and head on back to Verelda. And there we go. That is 2 dungeons. That's, you know, one of the a little bit more difficult ones with better rewards, and then one of the not as difficult ones. And as you can see, that time was about the same as the other one that we did. I think that other one was 9 minutes. This one was almost 8. So the dungeons, they do take a little bit of time. I would imagine as you progress through them and get to some of the harder ones, they're going to take a lot longer. But as you can see here, we've got leaderboards, so you can compete, try to get a high score, get to the top of the leaderboard. I'm actually not far off points-wise from being at the top. I don't really know what being at the top gets you. I would imagine it gets you something, because also in this game, if you do achievements, you get some kind of extra rewards or something. I don't remember. So I guess I already did this one. No, it's locked. I haven't done this one yet. But once you get points from doing achievements, you can claim some extra rewards. So that's pretty cool. Don't really know what any of this stuff does. Belt pouch. Ooh. Okay, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I tried to show off as much as I could. I've only been playing this game, I think I have like 7 hours in it. It's nothing crazy. So there's obviously going to be a ton of stuff that I missed. I'm still literally learning new things every single time I play the game. That's what I like about it. And if you guys were asking me if you think you should give it a try? I think the answer is yes. Take the mixed reviews on Steam with a grain of salt. The game is $12. You got 2 hours to play it. If you don't like it, refund it. It's really that simple. I think the game is super awesome. I think, you know, all of the problems on day one, most of those have been fixed. The devs have been doing some pretty crazy stuff here. And funny story, actually, before we get out of here, I was playing with my buddy yesterday, and he wanted to name his character Chili. Well, he wasn't happy with how his character looks, so he wanted to go back, delete it, remake his character again, and name it Chili for a second time, and the game wouldn't let him. So it said the name was taken, and it wouldn't let him. So just to be funny, I guess he sent a support ticket into the devs or sent an email or something like that, and he was basically like, hey, the game won't let me, you know, take this name that I want. Can we fix this? And at first they told him kind of to just like piss off because it's not an important issue. And then he sent another email and he was like, wow, that really sucks, you know, whatever. And then they somehow, some way went in and made it to where his name was Chili. They fixed it. So his name went from, I think he made it Chile or something like that. And then it fixed it. And now he's back to being named Chili. So that kind of tells you what the developers kind of are. I think that's pretty cool that they did that. They definitely could have just told him to fuck off and not worried about it whatsoever. But they went in and they fixed his name for him. You know, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's kind of telling on how these devs are. And I'm going to support their game. I like the game. I think it's fun. You know, take the mixed reviews with a grain of salt. And I would highly encourage you guys to form your own opinion and not only listen to the opinions of others. Of course, sometimes you have to take those opinions into consideration, but if I would have done that, I would have missed out on an awesome game. And that's just kind of how I look at it. So anyways, I don't want to ramble too much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys give this game a try. If you do, please let me know what you think about it down in the comments. And yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.